Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a castover, whence we have the lovely, unmistakable matchup of Mesk against Keyan. You know what? At least Keyan spelled Mississippi correctly. Alright, well, Veek is also spectating, you can see. And this map is Jungles of Jericho by the Bitty B, Ben Taberski, B-Tib88. Now, this is an interesting one because we actually have screen positions, as you can see. And it's pretty cool. I wonder if there should be some way for me to disable my own screen position. It's on the minimap that's somewhat distracting, but I'll just learn to deal with that. We also have a very exciting feature where if I take my head and I hide it, you can see that it no longer tells you how far along you are in the replay. And that's really good for me, but also means you don't have to censor it yourself anymore. The way that Mesk does when he does his recordings. But, yeah, it's just nice to not deal with that at all. Very nice. So in this ZERG versus Protoss match, you can see that Keyan is going for an expansion early on. We generally see that this map is laid out such that we have this very large ramp that you can step into. You also have this small one, and those appear to be the only entrances to your base area, which has this little choke point if you end up not being able to expand. I don't know how to feel about how far away the bases are. The natural expansions do seem to be a little bit of a hike. And so, yeah, not sure about that one. There will be, of course, a classic scout move. Mesk putting his pylon over here, interestingly enough, and he's going to go for a gateway and then move to the other entrance over here. And yeah, fairly basic four-way symmetrical map. Mesk scouting the wrong way. Keyan, not interested in scouting at all. So, we'll see how long that one takes. I think our old APM readout was much better than this because coloring the APM through colors is necessary for the UI, for the team UI. Well, it's not necessary, but it helps you not like differentiate between your APM and somebody else's. Also nice fucked up everything. This ramp is actually misplaced off to the right by one, so that actually is a balancing issue that BTib can fix later. Mesk trying to do his darndest to block off this ramp, it looks like. Although I think you can still squeeze through there with small units. Now, meanwhile, as he attempts to do his best to wall, he's got a zealot out, or coming. Got the new scribe sprite. Big fan of that. What was I talking about earlier? Yeah, we used to have APM looking different. I think it looked better that way. Because obviously coloring this makes like the sixes sometimes like weird. Like the green color specifically is actually really hard to follow. Whereas the red color is a little bit easier, but for whatever reason, certain player colors don't seem to play nicely. Hey, the Shambler's here too. And he's typing in all chat. And he's asking the winning of who? Since that's not how you would ask that question. But that's okay. English is not the Shambler's strongest suit. There's finally going to be some scouting confirmation that, indeed, Mesk is doing something silly. Obviously, you weren't only sending it to Veek, dude. Come on now. I don't know that, yeah, okay. Right then and there, Keyan did actually see what was happening. He's typing a message, I think, because that's why his APM was so low. Oh, never mind. He figured it out. So yeah, now he knows where Mesk is. He can build some units. I don't know. I do think it's pretty neat to see the whole screen position stuff. However, I'm definitely going to have to get used to it because I keep like thinking, oh, I shouldn't... I don't know what's going on over there. But we get to see that, like, you know, Keyan's macroing, and, you know, he sent out a wave, and actually Meska's responded immediately to the threat. But, of course, he's getting tickled to death. How does he not have anything? Oh, because he built 2 wardens back here, okay. Well, that zealot is definitely going to need to get canceled so he can get his money back. Keyan now floating up with 1,000 minerals. Veek complaining. Yeah, I would like to disable the I would like to disable witness messages. It's just very distracting when you're trying to form thoughts of your own. not doping so hot. Listen, I'll dope you. See, the focus is on to the Wardens specifically. He does have a Gladius being built. And they're just going to go for the pylon. That's actually not going to be good enough, though. This Matrix should still be operational, I think. It's going to get focused down. He could have pulled workers a lot sooner than that. And even then, he can still kill that Quasilisk. Yeah, the Gladius is coming out. That's going to be fine. So, there you go. Here you go. There you go. See? Check that out. So, yeah. Looks like Keyan was not able to defend. Yeah, well, you guys were fucking wrong about that one, because now it's just an ocean of chat messages while I'm trying to commentate. So, not the strongest return to castovers, I'm going to be honest. But at least we got a silly game going. And I don't know why he couldn't cap his geyser, because I missed that, whatever that bug report was. And nobody actually commented on it before. So yeah, now he's getting owned by Gladius. And they're still bouncing to hidden targets, which is a good meme that I thought I told people to fix, but that's okay. What did you say? Good question. We got an exemplar out to deal with these Zephyr cores. This is... I'm just going to let you guys know. This replay was called Tism, and the follow-up replay is called Epic Tism. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that makes a lot of sense, actually. So I'm just going to go ahead and, apropos of nothing, can you stop typing, please? And see what Vic says in response. But, yeah, pretty unfortunate. Oh, I guess that's probably why. Since the Shambler was the one who had this replay, maybe Mesk did actually have it, but that's definitely fucking distracting, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I think only I'll check it. Here, let me just send the screenshot of that. And, yeah, meanwhile, once again, Keyan only has Zephyr cores for some reason. And, meanwhile, yeah, what is Keyan doing? What's up with this? He's got more static defense coming. He doesn't want to build quasis, even though there's only like 2 units here. I guess he's worried about the bouncing balls, but if you force the Gladius away, it stops that from happening. And surely it's still... I mean, he has so much money. He has so much money. All right, let's see. Another round of Zephyr cores. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, they all focus down a single cannon. You would want to split so you get surface area, obviously, but that ain't gonna happen. There's too many Wardens there. And now at this point, I don't think Keyan has a lot of money. Although he is... Okay, he took a third. He's not got great saturation. He's got less workers than his opponent. What the fuck? What is going on? Is this decent? Oh, no, he's got Siths. All right, so he's going to clear out the Gladius first, of course. And there you go. And he can chase down the Exemplar quite easily. And now, meanwhile, more Wardens. So, okay, more Vassals. Okay, Vassals are going to come out, guys. Everybody's favorite. Dude, that lasted a long time. But he's nearly here. He does have 2 Gladiuses, and he has plenty of Wardens. And yes, people who are going to complain about me not saying Gladii, I'm not doing that, sorry. Now, actually scouting around for maybe another base here. Although I'm not sure that they'll go all the way. There's only a single Warden there. Well, it's just moving around a little bit. Yeah, that's how I felt when I looked at that too, Shambler. He's conserving his money for some reason. Oh, never mind. He was waiting until he had a lot of scouts. So then he goes back. He doesn't actually continue scouting for this base. And he's going to go ahead and depower that gateway, which wasn't really being used anyway. It looks like the Vassals are going to be on their way over here just to scout for other bases, and they will eventually terminate over in this spot. But I think Keyan will spot them because of the Zephyr cores that he's placed around in a few spots. So, okay, we're slowly turning this into an actual game. The gateway does indeed fall over. I kind of thought maybe this match would just end immediately, but I was wrong. I was wrong. So, no worries there. Now the talking has ceased as well. Very nice. Very good. We should definitely look into just filtering out witness messages Although I guess that would lead to some confusing cases. All right, this warden now under attack. Single Skithic does indeed go down. And another warden and a matrix will indeed have to be canceled. But don't worry, there's a bunch of vassals coming. They didn't even kill the ZERG. That's a bit confusing. Now more Skithicors on the way. No defenses. Oh, here come the Gladiuses, though. Okay, we might actually be able to get something here. Another warden on the way. They're focusing down a Nexus. Now they're going to try to tickle the Gladius. The other one wasn't attacking, which is a bit awkward. But just by virtue of this one being in here, it does mean that the bouncing will continue. If Keyan wanted to avoid that, he should have kited away from the Gladiuses after killing the first one. And then he probably wouldn't have been killed by balls, but now he's being tickled. His economy being hindered once again. Holy fucking money, dude. And yeah, you can see Mesk here is trying to defend against a follow-up, it looks like. The other Skithicors came in looking for some reaction, but at this point, yeah, you definitely see the worker count favoring not Keyan. Oh my god, he got one. Well, that was a decent number of vassals that just didn't do too much. Oh my god, they're still over here. Well, he's massing up another round, and Keyan's floating a lot of money, but obviously doesn't have a crazy amount of income. So he's got some Hydras. Those will do fairly well against what the enemy has. But he's not capping geysers. He said he couldn't. He said he couldn't cap geysers, but Mesk can. I don't quite know. I think as soon as Keyan reestablishes stuff over here, he should actually still be capable of getting an economic advantage because he's got 3 bases. But it's going to be silly. Well, you know what? The Spraiths are here. He should be insulated if he keeps some Skiths here. Maybe another Spraith versus the control group of vassals that's heading out over here. Meanwhile... oh, man. All the Zeths. All the silly. He's going for more lattices. He needs to spend more of his minerals. The vassals are going a bit of a different arc here. Now the Zeths are going to come in here and get owned. And we'll see what happens there. Waiting for the move that Mesk is going to go for. He's just going to fly them directly into the Hydra stack. So... okay. He escapes with maybe a little bit over half. He's got another pair coming. He's just sort of looking around. Sort of looking around, seeing what he can do. Confirms more Spraiths over there. Reminds Keyan that base exists, so he uses his workers. It's very nice of you to remind Keyan that his workers exist. And, dude, I don't know how this game is still going on, honestly. That's crazy. Is Keyan really unable to cap his geyser, or is something else happening? That's so weird. Well, now we get to the point where we get to just sit here and watch. Sit here and enjoy the action. We got sequestered icons. We got wardens. Interestingly enough, I guess it's going to be a Cantor drops. Those are pretty good because you can drop them and then not deal with the Spraith colony, obviously. You could even fly some Architects up. However, the Cantors will be a little bit more useful on their own. The expert witness commentary here is quite confusing, really. Third base now up online for Mesk, but he's not mining from it. Veek is thinking what I'm thinking. There isn't that much scouting here from either player. Now, you know, at the very least, we see that Mesk is going, you know, he's doing some things. He's like flying around and trying to do what he can. At the same time, he's actually going to end up catching the... no. Not quite. Yeah, Keyan has definitely got a lot of cash. He said he's not even saturated his gas because of the couple of workers that he lost over there to vassals. Well, we do have a counterattack in order here. Although I think the Skiths are... wait, no, what is he doing? Nice broken tile there, by the way. Nice broken tile there, by the way. So this base is going down, indeed. Now Keyan will need to strike back and kill this Nexus, which he is more than capable of doing. He can turn and kill the vassals. And what's out over here? Oh, he's going for architects after all. Okay. Well, he definitely needs to peel for them. But versus Hydras, he should have a bit of an advantage. He can station them over buildings and stuff. But what do we see here? More vassal death. All the vassals in the world actually can just kill the entire army. Here come the vassals for peel in the front. I don't know where the architect was, but wait, where did it go? Did it die? I guess so. It must have died. But the vassals are over here, and the army is dead. So all the what a stupid game. Yeah, the 4K float is intense for sure. At the very least, I know this replay isn't desync because the chatters are telling me everything I need to see here. And we get to see V be more complaintive than ever. Always nice. In this case, it was literally just vassals, and, you know, obviously Keyan decided to omit any AoE. You can see here even Naths are doing okay, forcing a lot of micro on behalf of Mesk, and they're cleaning them up just very nicely. Now, the micro could have been better, obviously, from Mesk to try to even the odds, but that's more than enough that it took to take that. Now, I don't think that this particular interaction is particularly compelling, because it's obviously incredibly low TTK, time to kill in both cases, right? But when you're at a low level of play, you're gonna get silly shit happening. Stupid. Well, he did chase one vassal across the entire map and leave his base completely open and had 4K minerals again. So at this point, there's definitely a critical mass. Although the vassals, I mean, the Nathracors are continuing to be trained, but yeah. Dude, I don't understand how Keyan got so much money. Oh, they all died. Well, here comes some more. There's three Spraiths, and some Quasis that are dying slowly. They might keep the Quasrock pool alive, at least. I don't understand how... How does he have so much money but not spend it? He has so many larvae as well. Maybe this isn't a maybe this is a decent gig. Well, this is hilarious as a comment because obviously they don't deal that much damage versus something that has way more health. Yeah, well, the rage has occurred. GG. Okay, well, Mesk takes game one. That was a silly game. At the very least, we omit the witnesses from the score screen now, which is great. Thanks to DF for that one. And yeah, that was quite stupid. I'm going to see if I can get the not witness replay version of this so that I don't have to deal with all of the random interruptions. But nonetheless, we'll see if Mesk can continue his streak. There is actually a game that happens in between this where Mesk tries to defend for, like, do a similar wall thing that he did at the beginning of the previous game, the game we just watched, and he just gets completely destroyed instead. That game lasted like 3 minutes, and nobody saved the replay for it, so I can't cast it for you guys. But that's what Mesk told me about, so Keyan is technically 1-to-1, neck and neck. We'll see who decides it right as soon as I get into game number 2. And we are back. Game number 2. It's none other than Keyan playing against Donald J. Trump. And they are playing on Godhead, a very silly map I made. I say silly because I don't know that it worked out. It's an experiment in rotational symmetry that I made while doing my whole daily mapping thing I've been doing since April began. And I'm sure it's possible to make a functioning layout out of this, but it's just a bit wacky, okay? It's just a bit wacky. So, as you can see, we do indeed still have all of the same accoutrements that we had before with the whole witness stuff. You get the I'm trying to move out of the way so you can see it, but it's a little bit hard to see these sort of dark colors for the minimap preview. Maybe we can get the brightest shade for darker colors or something. There's probably some sort of wacky thing we can do like that. But either way, it is indeed something that we can continue to improve upon overall. And now, Mesk has played on this map a few times. I don't know if Keyan has. I know Mesk has played versus me a few times. And if I didn't destroy him in, like, 5 minutes, he would create an impenetrable wall of sentinels as Terran. And then I would just get sort of like tismed by trying to move around the map. So that's because I'm bad. And also because at that time, there was really not much counterplay to very, very heavy defensive walls. That is probably more of a problem with the tools available, though. Like if architects and other units were heavier range or something, then maybe we would have a little bit more room for sort of sieging. Now, they have spawned in very close spawns. This is a game where... this is a map, rather, where if you spawn opposite spawns, especially left and right, it can be very difficult to do too much. Look at this. Look at this. The bunker, the very, very fast bunker here, and then 3 hits away from cementing that mason into the dirt, into a tomb, into the grass, I guess. It'll be a Cyprian to immediately staff that bunker. And we do have a Quasrock pool, and Mesk going to expand away from his opponent. So this is fairly sound moves. It looks like Wandering has owned him here, which is going to be a bit confusing for him. I actually don't know if a case like this is fixed, but these are invalid paths. So, like, they're not... These don't exist as, like, proper pathing regions, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. But, yeah, I also don't know what they were just talking about. I think maybe... Did he lose a worker somewhere? It doesn't look like it, so... I'm sure he was just commenting on... He might have been commenting on his own thing. His own silly experience watching his worker move all the way. No, he hasn't noticed it yet, I don't think. Well, that's all right. How long will it take? I'm sure he'll point that out. Now, we do indeed not have the witness mode, so no worries there. Like, we don't have the people chatting relentlessly, because I did go and get Mesk's version of this game. What's going on here? Oh, did he see it? No. No, not quite. Oh, he's got him. Oh my god, it's broken. Well, there you go. You get to see the new Cyprian, and apparently the fact that it breaks at close range. Yeah, that's... I wonder if that's possible to fix, honestly. I have no idea. Got him. That's my secret technique. It's true. Here we go. We're off to a fucking... roundabout way. They should just probably not look for other res areas for Wandering. I think maybe that's already been fixed, though. I assume Veek has commented on this, has noticed it and fixed it, because they are indeed in here as witnesses. Like if I do view players, we can see here that same witnesses as before. Too bad they didn't do some 2v2s. Would have been nice. I don't know what's happening. He's loading in Cyprians, but only 2 Cyprians, and then unloading the other Cyprian. He's like an AI, dude. He does have an Ahmed, and he's going for a star pad, so we're probably going to see some silly drop play. But there's a double Circuit already, and it looks like we've got a minimal amount of workers on this base over here, as well as 1 worker who is not harvesting. This is always rough to see because of worker stacking, obviously. It doesn't look like Mesk will notice it anytime soon. Maybe he'll surprise me. He's got a couple of Quasis that are patrolling around, seeing what they can do. And, yeah. Got a Hurakan in each bunker now. Isn't that epic? And he's going for a Wraith for scouting, it looks like. Fairly customary to see players go for a single Wraith as Terran, at least to scout around and see what's going on. And maybe they can also, you know, harass a little bit, but with workers HP being a little bit higher, that's unlikely to happen. There will indeed also be a Spraith colony. So already Mesk showing he's just playing on the up and up. I don't think he would have scouted this. And there will be a Trojan on the back foot. Yeah, that probably means that there's going to be a fair amount of silliness here. Let's see, the Wraith following stuff around, tickling the Kagran colony. That is just now become a Spraith. Confirming, of course, that air presence exists. And Mesk is also aware that Keyan is somebody who really likes to do some drop play. So this should be... the warning signs should be going off. I need a bit of an army so that I can respond to silly drops. I probably want to do more than just a single Spraith in places, like maybe back here, instead of this being a Spraith, it should be a Circuith or, you know, something like that. He does have an Ovileth for detection, and it looks like that will be, I mean, just the Quasis will be enough to force that worker, or that Wraith away. The Quasis over here have continued to guard the base. No scouting information from Mesk. It looks like Keyan will do his darndest to go for a second Trojan, actually, just about finished. So he'll be able to drop a considerable amount of infantry. This is getting more and more silly by the moment. So yeah, nice to hopefully know that that is a fixed thing. Shout out to Veek for fixing that thing. But yeah, you got more workers over here that are not actually working. Now the list has grown for like, there's 2 workers that are just chilling. So as this list gets sillier, this list up here also gets sillier. Mesk probably wondering where all of his money is. He just hasn't even commented on it. Like, I refuse to believe he hasn't seen this by now. maybe that's what the so true was. Maybe that's what... I don't know. I have no idea. Surely he's noticed by now that his units are fucking flipping. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and take the base now, so that will resolve it. Now, we do have the double Trojan and the Wraith, which has not been repaired, so we will be seeing an attempt at a drop. At this point, though, attacking this base you could just do with ground units, so I'm curious as to what his plans are over here. This actually turned into a Circuith, confusingly enough, but it's going to be helpful. I think maybe Mesk kind of figured out there's only one Wraith, so... he should be able to respond to this. Yeah, he does see it on the minimap there. And look at that, the Wraith instantly going down, so only has to worry about the ground units now. He will evacuate the workers. Still, again, has more of an advantage, economically speaking. Frontline is indeed down. That Circuith colony taking quite a bit of flack. I actually think maybe the Cyprians weren't even attacking it, to be honest, but... yeah, they are not doing damage. That's actually a huge bug. Well, they're going to go ahead and at least deal damage to all the rest of this stuff, so... that's, that Circuith colony would have fallen a lot sooner if it had been intelligently focused. But meanwhile, the workers mostly evacuated. They can obviously do some stuff later. Here comes the Izira Corps, just to tickle these units. Oh, what's going on here? The Hacharos was being focused down. And these units will go ahead and walk away. Okay, well, he can unburrow those workers and send them down to this other base and actually have a better economy than he had before. Standing at the top of the ramp, always good. We'll go ahead and clear things out there. And there you go. Trojans on their way back home. Get to see the new Cyprian in action, which when it's not operating at exactly maximum range, seems to be pretty good. I think that max range bug was also fixed, but all I know for sure is that the units not receiving... range bonuses was fixed. So like the units in the bunker were like not receiving the range bonuses. That should have been resolved. But I think it was still a bug in this particular version. The Quasilisks will be spotted by the Wraith, but I don't think Keyan noticed it. We didn't see his view snap over there to see what those were. No, you can kill that. Yeah! Alright, now run away. Low HP Quasilisk got owned. And at this point, yeah, he is... oh, look at this. These have been burrowed here, so I'm not sure if they'll have gotten vision exactly of the base, but as soon as he unburrows them, right, it's going to be Nodin. What the fuck? There you go. That was quite silly. But all right, this base getting set up. This one nearly finished, so those workers will return to their duties. More Quasis massing up here. Another Wraith moving around. The stuff in the bunkers is enough to withstand this, but actually there's not really that many units at home. So he might be able to do some cheeky harassment or something. I mean, he should just build a Hacharosk in the base with this worker, I think. That's my suggestion to Mesk. It might blow his mind, because he'll never have considered something like that. Yeah, that's the bug we were talking about. That Wraith just getting owned. That is a very silly bug. I don't know how we didn't notice it before, but I guess it's just because not very many things that had the go to max range behavior also went in bunkers. Like, technically the Patriarch would have been able to show us that this bug existed, but... oh no, it's a Quasilisk drop! Oh no, it got attacked! Oh, only one of them got out. Oh, it died horribly. It got displaced by the attack somehow. I don't know what happened there. He probably accidentally told it to stop or something, and then it got hit by a watchdog missile. Slapped. Well, we do indeed have more quasis just chilling, just sitting here. Keyan probably realizes he should throw Mavericks into the bunkers at this point because of that silly bug. And we got more Zerg. More here. Another Excision being capped. More defenses being set up over here with some units chilling, standing guard. I'm not sure. With the Huracan in the bunker, there's actually 2 Huracans in that bunker. And there's still all these units here. Oh, but Ahmed doesn't attack in bunkers either because of some other stupid bug. So that's so dumb. What a game, honestly. But he can repair it. He can keep it alive. Ahmed's there for moral support. He's helping the repairs, obviously. Meanwhile, the drops. Where are the drops at? Drops are coming. Okay. Yeah. This is stupid, but don't worry. We got Ahmed doing stuff, not being in a bunker. Where are these Zeths going? Will they narrowly intercept that? No, they won't. Okay, so this base could get owned, right? Because it's got 3 circuits, but they're still mutating. Instead, it looks like he wants to drop directly over here. Oh, right on the tech, too. There you go, he even evacuates. Most of the circuits are taken out. He's focusing down the Quasrock pool, which isn't a bad move. He could finish off these Kagrins, obviously. It looks like he will do so. Ahmed's loose. Ahmed's loose! Oh, he died. More units over here trying to retaliate. Now the Hydrock Den looks like it'll be next. Which, by the way, is pretty big if you can knock out the tech and then knock out the IRL after. Just because then you can't respond with any units. Like, you have to rebuild the base tier tech so that you can even use the new tech. Unless you go for, like, you know, Muthrock or something, right? But yeah, he actually doesn't have any combat units he can make anymore. So... Oh, look at that. Even focusing down the last couple of eggs. That's a pretty good strat, too. I didn't even think about that. But, yep. So now what does he do? How's he going to respond to this? How can Mesk reply? He does have a lot of Zethra cores. He'll shut down this base, I guess. Not that it was doing anything for Keyan. If those Zethra cores were here, they definitely help clean this attack wave up. Super, super easy. Now, there are only a couple of units here. Hey, look! Wait! Ahmed can attack from a bunker! Oh, I guess these 2 were just lazy. Probably some stupid angle thing where they aren't turning. The Iral Iris looks like it will be going down. He is rebuilt. Oh, he's going for the Muthrock, so he's going to leverage the gas. Leverage the, you know, the tech that he has. It won't be entirely without some sort of merit. And yeah, unfortunately, he did lose all those Zethra cores. A couple of them are over here still denying the base. So, you know what? Keyan's floating a ton of money. And also has only 1 base of income. And now is also trying to kill this. Yeah, fuck that. Fuck him up, combat worker! Wasn't good enough. Wait. Oh, there's more. Got him! Absolutely got him. Meanwhile, those don't attack up. He is going for a Quasrock. So Keyan will have confirmation that as soon as he looks at this base, anyway, that... Where is his viewport at? It looks like he's over his own base right now. It's just hard to see. Meska's over here, trying to deal with that. Excellent, honestly. Yeah, these are the kinds of bugs that you definitely are a big fan of showing off to the whole internet. But also, they're fixed, so... Very nice. Look how far we've come, guys. Here come the dinos. Oh, they're walking in a straight line. Listen, they're bugged, but not that bugged. There you go. Only lost a couple. Oh, pretty close to killing that one, too. Well, he kept the Excision alive, and look at that. It's pristine. Full HP. Well, we got another drop on the way. Doesn't want to take advantage of the height. Oh, here we go. Just unload on this outside part. He could just go for this circuit and then snipe the Muthrock. That would be really good for him. The response is coming in with the Protathalors on the way. I think maybe they've taken too long, though. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, he is actually going to lose that, too. That really hurts. That was his only bit of tier 2 that he had left. Well, these last remaining Muthrock units are now basically heroes. We love heroes in our TS games, so it looks like Keyan will be going for a random base. He wants to go somewhere random. Where's he going? He wants to go to the across spawn or something. Okay. Well, this is pretty stupid. I mean, he could just land it here or land it here and take some... He doesn't want to. He's like, well, if I can't expand for free, I don't know what to do. I'll just have to expand for 3 and send 3s to the No Frauds Club on coffee. You can do that, actually. It is allowed. All right, well, Mesk has lost his main and his tech and only has a Quasrock. He is slowly getting back to gas to take up another tier 2. Keyan has no tier 2 and only 1 base and 2,000 fucking minerals. Why is he flying over here? I guess he wants the extra gas. Okay, if I'm going to pause, right, and just assess what's going on here, I've got my opponent up against the ropes. Like, I've sniped their tech, I sniped their, like, everything that they could have gotten. They only have 2 bases that I know of. You know, I would try to confirm that with all the Wraiths I have, flying them all over the place, seeing where things are. But I would also be like, okay, I mean, let's saturate my gas, right? Sorry, I'm getting allergic. Let's saturate my gas for 1. Because he only got 1 guy on there. No wonder he doesn't have any gas. And let's just start slamming out, you know, Mavericks and Hurricanes with all my minerals while I expand like 3 places simultaneously and just try to contain my opponent. Because obviously one way you can allow your opponent back in is by reestablishing their bases, right? So now, because of his inaction, Mesk now has 3 bases, right? He's got his main back up and running. Could repair some of this stuff too if you really wanted to. I mean, you have the minerals. So he's going to go in with a group, an Anciel, a bunch of Wraiths, and a bunch of Trojans. I mean, you have to favor Keyan, even though he's not really good at spending money. Maybe he thinks this is like one of those investment games, you know, where you're like, oh, I just got $1,000 in my bank account. That's going to be my new 0. And maybe that's how he feels. Like he can't go underneath 1,000 or else he's losing out. But no, it's quite the opposite. Now the Iral Iris will be placed in a very, very good spot. Meanwhile, Mesk has some units moving around. One Sycrolus gets immediately destroyed. This base will once again fall, almost certainly. And it looks like Keyan has realized... Oh, here we go. Protathalor is trying to pull some units down. There's actually no anti-air over here. The Wraiths could come in and start wreaking havoc on them. But for now, they'll just abuse the range. Again, these are tier 2 units marooned in a tier 1 existence. Got some units to respond. Workers not really rising up currently. Oh boy. The Anciel is protecting Mesk's units instead of his own. Alright, now it's out of energy. And the rest of his military was stuck up there. So he didn't really seal the deal, but hey, he's figured it out. I can just use my Protathal... No, you can kill it. It's only... Okay, I guess you can die instead. This worker still doesn't have great vision range, so it's not really giving him too much, but it's funny. Oh, look! 1 more worker and he's just started. What the fuck? Okay. What is going on? Oh, he finally killed that Excision, dude. Fuck that Excision. This is actually a bit of an older version. I don't think I've updated the version yet. Meanwhile, just chipping away at the Anciel's energy. I love this. You probably aren't getting an error, like a response or whatever, that you're under attack. I guess we could try to fix that. Ooh! Sassed. Oh my god, they found the Zethar core. See, this could have all been avoided if you just suicided for that Protathalor. Oh. Well, at least you kept the Anciel alive. Now, of course, there will be another attempt at taking this base. This base was left completely unperturbed, and he is now up to tier 2 on both his swarming and assault strains for basic tier 1 stuff. Meanwhile, oh, okay. Bunker's going down. Keyan not really compelled to get any gas. I mean, he's capped this, but he's not mining from the ridge, and he's only got one worker on it. Still only one worker on this reservoir. Dude, Keyan's going to be like, well, there's no gas on this map. You know what I mean? Ay, ay, ay. Honk. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one. There's not a crazy amount of gas income for Mesk either, even though he does, of course, have them saturated. But when he gets this third base set up again, caps this geyser again, he should be in a pretty good spot. Although, you have to wonder what Keyan's next move is going to be. Is he just going to sit around until he's got tier 2? He's nearly got the gas to do it, finally. He does have a lot of Mavericks, but he could obviously be slamming out way more of those. Not really much of a reason to conserve minerals by comparison. Could obviously expand a lot more, could actually saturate this gas, but now he can tech up, so we'll watch, just waiting for that gas to go down. Meanwhile, we'll see what Mesk is up to. Okay, he's actually got everything he could ever want. He's got his tier 2 defenses up and running. I think the Scorchwrath should probably be more than 50 minerals. I planned for it to be 100, but I don't think I ever actually changed that in-game. It doesn't really matter in this case, but, you know, in the cases where you're, like, losing them and having to rebuild them and stuff, them being more expensive than the initial Circuit is definitely, I think, ideal. I'm still playing around with whether or not I would want to talk about the, add gas costs to some of these advanced defenses and stuff. Like, obviously, the Sentinel spam could be mitigated a little bit if the only change I had made to them was 25 gas cost, you know. But anyway, the Atlas is indeed coming down. We will finally see more than just bio and some air units from Keyan. I'm really surprised this game is still going on, but you know what? Nothing should surprise me. Not where Mesk is involved. Taking another base up here. The game is continuing to be very silly. He's got these bunkers. They do actually have units in them. He's got some watchdogs over here. Not really doing too much mining, no capping, leaving all the ridges and stuff. And look at this. Mesk is just like, fuck it, I don't need money. Oh, never mind. He was just moving over here. Why did he move the worker over there? I mean, like, I didn't ever really think somebody would take this base when I made this map. Unless they were the one who possessed this cliff. But honestly, see you later, Veek. I think he's shocked that this game is still going on too. What the fuck is going on, dude? What is happening? Can you explain to me what I'm seeing right now? A lot of Wraiths, more Mavericks, Sentinels. Yeah, I mean, Keyan's pretty dug in. I don't think he has too much going for him otherwise. He is going to just walk into this base. Good luck on that one. Let's see what happens. Goes for the workers first, then kills the static defense, then we'll kill the Hatcherosk. Pretty standard operation there. So that base gets found out. This one's just burrowed. Give him a warning sign. I mean, you could use a Zethracore for that instead of a worker. That could be theoretically giving you money. But who am I to say what should or shouldn't be done? What a situation, honestly. Got a lot of Mavericks still. But where's his tier 2 tech at? What's he building with it? Is he doing anything? Got more stuff over here, setting up another base. So Keyan will soon be up to 4 bases. That's obviously going to give him an economic advantage versus Mesk. But he's not really using his tech. He's got almost 1,000. He just wants to go straight to tier 3. Oh my god. For somebody who wants to go straight to tier 3, he sure is not really interested in saturating gas or capping it or whatever. Is he still... Okay, no, he is saturated this gas. But what about this gas? No, still not. No need for that. Oh yeah, he's very, very close to being able to throw down a Daedalus. He's going to go for captaincies instead for now. Delay that ever so slightly. 4 Daedalus is the same gas as 200 gas, which is what he needs. I mean, 4 captaincies, sorry. 4 Daedalus. Every Daedalus you build makes your other stuff go faster. Mess going for tier 2.5 will indeed be quite interesting to see. You know, one of the things that we have been talking about recently is the whole time to kill thing. And I do think that reducing the attack rate, the baseline attack rate of a bunch of units would help with that. But we could also instead go for, you know, a more... You know, I've talked about this on the Big Boys table where we, instead of scaling damage or DPS in general, we scale health to the same degree that we currently scale damage. And then damage scales up slower or whatever. With some exceptions, obviously, like the Akantor, stuff like that. I do think that that would help. I think it would go a long way towards making the game a little bit less volatile, a little bit less fragile. But at this level of play, I also don't really know what is truly missing. There will be a game where we take a look at, I don't know if it'll be worthy of a cast exactly, but I can definitely take a look at it. And we can see what happens between Veek and the Shambler, since that spawned some conversation of, you know, time to kill and air units and all this other stuff, which we kind of saw Veek complaining about a little bit in the previous cast as well. He's not very good at compartmentalizing his emotional state, I don't think, or his gut reaction to things. Speaking of gut reactions, though, we do see a bunch of random units get caught by the Wraiths, only one of them going down for Keyan. I was going to say, what's the reaction going to be when he walks into this base and sees yet another base that isn't being defended, but it is now being defended, so he confirms there's a lot of AoE over there. But he doesn't want to necessarily respond to that. Zethar is just sort of like moving around the map. Bunch of Sentinels and Watchdogs. This is just a silly war of attrition, it looks like. The Iskag coming out, that should mean Kagralisks for Mesk. And I think probably, you know, you could also use a Vigralisks, but not too many people do use them right now. They're very good at actually shrugging off attacks that would destroy a lot of other units, especially for ZERG specifically. They don't have a crazy amount of HP on on most of their units. So, yeah, what is going on through their heads? I'm sort of having like a mini prototype design discussion about time to kill and, you know, weapons and armor and stats. And meanwhile, we just have this game sort of unfolding. The Sikralisk over here will clean this up pretty nicely. Mesk wasn't even really mining from this, so this is just a distraction. He's already set up a 4th base. So that'll be a 5th base when he gets it up and running. Looks like Keyan's also doing some more stuff. I guess these units must be on a patrol path or something. No, this time around, he's actually going to send them through the map. He hasn't really looked through the middle at all. He's got these units over here sort of standing ground. Nothing over here. And this base being taken while this base is over here. So, yeah, it's kind of neat, kind of interesting. Some Gorger cores out as well. Maybe to combat the Wraiths. Well, we do have Madcaps and we do have an Apostle. The Daedalus is indeed out. It's much later than I thought it would be. I haven't really been keeping up with what Keyan was trying to do. A lot of Skiths. I mean, Zeths getting owned. Now we do have a bit of an assault over here. You want the Bactals to deal with the Mavericks. The single target from the Protathalor is a little bit better at dealing with the Sentinels. But either way, it's doing okay here. Doing okay. Mostly due to that silly bug. The Madcap drop is here. Yeah, sandwiched and lost. Not too much to say about that. Of course, could bring the Apostle to the front lines and start attacking some of these bases. Would be quite impactful. But, you know, I wonder if the reason why Keyan is a big fan of drops is just because he doesn't then have to deal with the selection limit and also ground pathing. But obviously, units are much more fragile when they're in transports. They can just explode. Now, there are some circuits being mutated, indeed, in addition to a Scorchwraith over at this 5th base. But I do think it will be endangered. Really depends on how this fight is taken. Yeah, front loading it like that is pretty bad. But you know what? It still ends up working out for him. He still keeps together a little bit more than a control group of madcaps. He can take the circuit back here out and then deny the mining. Just as the workers arrive too. Very, very painful timing. That's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I did it. And speaking of doing it, I think Keyan can now do what we've all been dreaming of, which is build ion cannons versus Mesk. He's going to go ahead and lose this circuit, but Scorchwraith will help clean things up. I should probably give it a different attack zone now that I think about it. In general, a lot of the static defense for the static defense for ZERG needs work anyway. Like Blizzard left the same launch sound in for, and maybe the weapon hit sound as well by default. Obviously, I've changed the Spraith one, but the Spear Tooth could use a unique one. Yeah, all these things that I definitely want to accomplish. He goes straight to the Atelier. He doesn't even bother with the ion cannon, dude. Now, the ion cannon on this patch, I believe, is the same size as a command center, build space-wise. Now, here's an interesting one. I don't think they'll be able to see this, but the Kagralisks are on the way, and it looks like they will be stationing over here to deal with this base. And this is probably a fair criticism of this particular map's flow, is once you take, you know, this base, and this base, you don't really have too many bases you can take safely. But I also don't know if that matters that much, because you generally don't need to worry about, you know, how many units you've got to deal with. Or how many bases you got to do. If you can get up to 4 bases, you can be fairly competitive, I think. Now, the Kagralisks over here are going to get swatted by the Sentinels a little bit. They're trying to station themselves such that they can attack back, but in doing so, they kind of have to clump up. And you can see it's not super good for them. But they can still sit here and shut down the mining. Maybe kill the reservoir. Got some Protathalors as well for even more range. And there you go. That Sentinel's just going to get shut down as well. Oof! Slapped. The one guy that was still mining. Yeah, this is one of those cases where now you can see Keyan is scrambling the Trojans, trying to do his darndest to get ready to respond to that attack. Just sort of seeing what's going on over here. Yeah, that reservoir is indeed going to go down. No tier 3, but I was about to say maybe he's closing in on it, but no, he's actually going for Kaffirlosks. That's so that he can mutate, you know, tier 2 strains right out the bat. Without skipping the middleman, so to speak. And he is setting up a 6th base, I guess. 4 or 5. Yeah, this is 5. So definitely needs a little bit more saturation on these workers. I'll take that gas only. 2,000 minerals is nothing to Keyan's almost 10,000. Spending his money is clearly the biggest issue that he has. And I definitely think it'll behoove him to sort of practice that. This reservoir could have been repaired, actually. The attack was canceled. He could have also just lifted his units, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of surprised he didn't lift the Sentinels and move them forward. That would have resolved the issue without him even needing to scramble units. But there it is. He's got a single Apostle out. He can resurrect that Mason if he wants. Obviously, the Apostle's duty here is going to be to give him some Kags. Well, never mind. I appreciate the effort, honestly. Amazing. Well, I hope that was worth it, Keyan, because now you've spent a lot of APM on that one when you could have been spending all this money. Dude, where are the ions? Where's the tier 3 anything? Where's the nanite assemblies? Oh, he does have a couple over here. Holy shit, he's got 4 nanite assemblies, but he's not building anything from them. Keyan, if I was in your position, man, I would be so happy with all the money I have and all the bases I have and all the tech I have. But Keyan, on the other hand, is more interested in chilling, in hanging. I hope you guys have appreciated this episode of Prototype, by the way, because this game, it's gone on quite a bit. I'm just trying to track all of the decisions The longer the game goes on, the more comfortable Mesk is. I don't know if that same thing is true for the other players. By the way. Oh, explosions. What? Oh, wait, what? What the fuck? He canceled a bunch of particle accelerators. Oh, maybe he didn't want to... No, I have no idea why he did that. That's a lot of gas that he lost. Sort of scouting with this Mason at this point. 2 workers just chilling. Oh my god. Mesk's attention is over here, trying to get his army in order. Honk. What is going to be the response? The Minotaurs are going to be a pretty good choice, I think. Armor's very solid. There are some Vithrilisks. I'm not sure if maybe he scouted these or what, but that number of Vithrilisks is not going to be sufficient, I don't think. I'm not even sure that his army is going to break through here. Parasites are going to help. Well, I think the Sentinel piercing is helping quite a bit for that. And yeah, he has to like move his army through this choke, and it's a little bit awkward. And what the fuck? I like the ant seal positioning. That'll help protect the bunker for a little bit. But yeah, the Minotaurs are only now arriving. And the bunker line is falling. We got even more Rillivoricors coming out here. If the Volgoricors can get over there and start resurrecting the units, that would be a big deal. Now, the Vithrilisks are in the background, but I don't think they'll be enough to deal with the 4 Minotaurs. They'll be a great choice versus the Rillivoricors. And assuming they try to focus down the Vithrilisks, that should also help. It doesn't look like it's super effective right now. And the armor rend on the Vithrilisks is definitely helping. Oh my god, I can't believe they all blew up like that. I think maybe Keyan focused down the wrong things with his madcaps or something. I'm really surprised he didn't go for ion cannons. He does have another round of Minotaurs out, and he's getting some Centaurs, but his main is falling. He's going to have to evacuate a lot of his stuff. He's debating whether to lift his Daedala right now. Definitely wants to hold on to that if possible so he can keep the Atelier up. Meanwhile, this base is... oh, it's actually reposting that attack fine. So he's safe up there, economically speaking. He's very safe, economically speaking. But yeah, 10,000 minerals. Going to go ahead and lift the tech. Oh my god, look at all the Mithril. Oh my god. And the Rillivoricor is tickling him to death. Yeah, I think maybe... Oh my god, he might kill the Daedala. Yeah, he is. He killed it. It's over. Now, he did actually lose quite a bit of his Vithrilisc force. So, even though the Daedala loss does hurt, he can still use the air units that he's got and the production facilities that he's got. So, that's actually pretty big. However, this force seems to have wrapped around and started to go for the main base. I am honestly... I guess I can't be surprised that Mesk won this game. But the fact that Keyan just did zero pressure after a certain point. Yeah, he tried. He like moved some units over here, shut down a couple bases while they were being set up, but there's just so much shit. I don't think it's going to be sufficient now. I did like that I saw him build Watchdogs and Sentinels, though. That was really cool because, obviously, prior to that, you would just replace Watchdogs with Sentinels, but now they have very different roles. If the Centaurs were moving in closer to deal splash damage with their missiles, this would obviously be a bit more helpful, but... oh, no, their splash... Never mind, their splash is their main gun. I keep forgetting I changed that. Yeah. Well, Keyan fought valiantly, but obviously Mesk has plenty more stuff where that came from, so... And, is eating this base currently. Does he have tier 3? He didn't even need it. A whole 1 tier up was Keyan, 3.5 to 2.5, but he didn't build any ion cannons, and he didn't really use the tech that he had. But you know what? He is sort of riposting this attack. He has lost the Centaurs, but the Vithrilisks are still a ways off. And you know what? As long as he keeps this gas mining, which, you know, He kind of has. There's only one guy missing from the reservoir. He might still be okay. He's got 10,000 fucking minerals. He's lost his 2 central bases, unfortunately. He hasn't fully saturated that reservoir either. Not bothered to take the gas only. Still covered in fucking silliness. And going for an Atlas immediately. His building's just blowing up, burning down. There should probably be a distinct read for the fire if it's actively burning down the structure, I think. Not sure what that can be, though. It would probably have to be like... I don't know. It would have to be something very specific, but... Maybe we can just change it so that the... all of the fire is like super bright when it's below the threshold, which I believe is 33 point something %. Not 33333 repeating, though. Don't worry. More Watchdogs. He obviously wants to protect himself versus Vithrilisks, and those are a pretty good good move in that respect, but the... well, I guess there's not really that much anti-ground, actually. Here we go. I'm going to go poking, seeing what's up. Yeah, the Synchrolisks are a little bit out of sync with stuff, so... If he can keep the Matroleth in the area, he can obviously give his air units the ensnaring passive, too, which would be pretty legit. I do like the Watchdog defense idea. That's not bad. That's pretty solid, actually. Because, you know, the more you build those, the harder it's going to be for the Vithrilisks to stand and fight in the same way. There you go. Instantly lost one. Well, Mesk is totally fine to just continue to take over the map. He's now taken a couple more bases. Obviously saturated. Kinda saturated this. He doesn't have a second worker on the top gas. Sort of just forgot about that. When it gets to this point, though, when you're managing so many bases, I understand. The Sentinels at the front line are pretty good, too, because it obviously means that the ground units will have to deal with that first. Ooh, ah. Of course, there's still not enough gas for Keyan to realistically be producing too many more units. Instantly annihilated. More Matroleths. See, it's cool that Mesk is finding usages for Matroleths. I'll say that much. I like the... what the fuck? I do like that Keyan is creeping up the map with Sentinels. He's got enough minerals for it, so... He's actually dipped below Mesk's mineral count. Can you believe that? Dude, there's so many Vithrilisks. I don't think you can build enough Watchdogs to counter this many Vithrilisks. I think they will just eat your army. I'm telling you guys, though, when we play in Antikythera's games and we have air collision, there will be so many better things that happen from that. You can basically balance air units more sanely when they actually have collision. So, you know. And it'll also be pretty neat, I think. We can probably do some sort of air pathfinding thing where there's terrain that behaves like, you know, blocking the paths of air units organically. StarCraft 2 kind of had that, but it was really bugged. We can just make it another layer, I'm pretty sure. And it'll be really nice because then you can have like areas where air units have to enter through like a ventilation shaft or window or, you know, some like really large window or something to an installation of some kind. Or just like you can have a natural cave or whatever, and there can be, you know, air-specific ramps, in air quotes, air quotes. You know, stuff like that. There's a lot more design opportunity you can do with stuff like that. So make them a little bit more of a legit part of the game. This command center getting tickled to death. I did think about making the Tetzoricor attack air because they were that tall, but I decided against it. So that command center will be no more. Oh. I like to imagine it lived with 3 health, but I only looked at it when it had 2, so I don't know. The Zork's Shroud is indeed mutating into the Ultra Cavern. That will offer a lot of a mineral dump there with Ultra Cores. And it looks like Keyan... Well, he's going to restructure some of his stuff. He's moving some stuff around to get his Masons back in action. Still just at Atlas Tech. And he wants more Watchdogs. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Definitely need to saturate his gas. He's only got one on... He had only one on his main for like most of the game. He's got this one saturated at least. But still this one only has one, and this capped geyser only has one as well. Oh no, he fixed this. So he's aware of that, but he's not aware of this. That definitely held him back a lot this game. Also having 10,000 minerals, but... What's Mesk planning? What's going on here? No, never mind, he gave up. What is he doing? I wonder if we can't like outline the box that is the viewport, because on a map that's this large where the viewport is so small, it actually is kind of hard to track. If we could outline it with like white pixels or something, that would probably help. Just one single pixel of a stroke outline that they have in Photoshop or whatever. That would help a lot, I think. But I don't know. Sometimes it would be like maybe you would want a dark. So an outline and then an inline where like it's inside the box. Maybe the inner line should be black and the outer line should be white, and that's how you would handle it. I don't know. There's probably some style stuff we can do for readability anyway. I think Mesk just realized that there's a base in the bottom. I mean, Keyan just realized that there's a base in the bottom left. But he's got bigger fish to fry. We saw all the Ultra Cores, and indeed here they come. And also here come the Vithrilisks. There's still more of them. Yeah, he needed something with the Vithrilisks, I think. And now all of his units are spinning. Oh, don't worry, he is going to kill the nanite assemblies, though. If he can do this, this will be really good. Because if he can kill these, there's not going to be any... Like, each loss is one that Keyan will not ever recover from. So long as the Daedalus remains unbuilt. It doesn't really look like much happened over here. Well, that attack was quite anticlimactic. All of his units mostly spun. And he's back down to no money. He is attacking this base again, killing off the gas worker, singular. Oh, he might actually be able to do something over here. He's moved the Minotaurs out of place, but he doesn't have an army over here to punish that, unfortunately. He could maybe roll in here and snipe. Again, each one is very costly for Keyan to reproduce. But there's more on the way. Some Alcagelisks are here. Better watch the fuck out. They can outrange the Watchdog, so that's not too bad at all. Kind of surprised we didn't see, Gazithalors or something, but... I like the banking turn, the spin. Fuck that reservoir. Fuck that height advantage. Yeah, this game was definitely colored in some way by those bugs. Thankfully, they are fixed. But Keyan also had an opportunity to win super hard early on. I guess it's not decided for sure that Mesk won't win, but... I mean, I'm pretty sure. He can't even land this base to take the gas. Here we go. Ultra Core is on the front lines doing their best to spin. Interpretive dance. And yeah, as soon as that front line pops, it's going to be... There's not really anything to deal with the Alcagelisks, right? The Vithrilisks can definitely come in and help as well. You tell me you never wanted to see a fight like this before. That's my thumbnail, obviously. It's like ZERG Battlecruiser versus Terran Battlecruiser. Which honestly is kind of lame. But, you know. Hey, Cascathalors are here. Those things need to be remodeled. I might actually be able to do that now. I'm better at doing basic animation stuff than I used to be. Ooh! Well, I think that's all she wrote for Keyan. His one base down here has been killed by a single Bactalisk. He had all these other units. He's still got 9,000 minerals. His data is under attack. Where is he at? He's landing stuff over here. He's not admitted defeat just yet. Here come the Zarkaver cores. There's nothing to even attack them to proc their passive. But yeah, he's lost his nano assemblies. What the fuck? Oh man. Well, he's happy to see them at least. It is quite the diverse army that Mesk has. We can all appreciate that. Shambler just came back from cooking or something. There you go. We got a couple of attacks just at the very end. That one lifted watchdog. And there you have it. Gonna be called GG here because of the lack of structures. Oh no, he has a single floating command center over here. That's why. Well, what have we learned today? Well, we learned that we're really good at fixing bugs as soon as we see them. Wink. And we also learned that Keyan needs to spend money. And that's going to be it. I think that'll do for our GG. By the way, I have no idea why the score screen broke player color again. Like, we had that fixed for a while, and now it's broken again. No idea. We'll have to fix that later again somehow. But that's probably a question for DF, since it was his code to initially make it work to begin with. Yeah. Spend that money. And ZERG Battlecruiser.